We will start with theories of trade cycle or business cycle. So first theory we will be dealing with climatic or sunspot theory of trade cycle. First we'll know the meaning of what is business cycle. Whenever there is higher price and least employment, or else whenever there is least price and higher employment, the business cycle takes place. Next we'll move on to the sunspot theory. Sunspot theory is the oldest theory of business cycle. It was given by Stanley Jevons in 1875. So in this theory, it is simply said that whenever there would be the violent nuclear explosion and it would directly affect the Earth's hemisphere, the Earth's atmosphere would affect the agricultural sector, and this would lead to, because the world economy was fully dependent on agriculture in the olden days. Whenever there was effect on the sun would emit less heat and it would affect directly on the crop. The crop yield would be low and income of the farmers would fall, and this leads to less purchasing power. There are many of the limitations of this theory. First limitation is it is based only on agricultural sector. Then second one is it is dealt with good crop or bad crop. It is one of the factor of depression. And another one, last one, is the trade cycle occurs at regular intervals of time, that is for 10 years, and while the length of the trade cycle is just for 7 to 8 years. Underconsumption theory is given by Karl Marx, and he predicted that capitalism would move periodically through expansion and contraction. This theory is mainly related to capitalistic economy. Here in this capitalistic economy, it is mainly dealing with the developed countries. So what happens here? In every business cycle, there is increasing income as well as there is inequality, and there is much concentration for wealth. So there will be like inequality between the haves and have-nots. Thus, poor workers lack income to purchase goods, and it results in under construction or overproduction. Next theory we will be seeing about the Keynesian theory of trade cycle. According to Keynes, the real cause of business cycle, it lies in the variations in volume of investment, which are caused by fluctuations in marginal efficiency of capital. So here it refers to the profit from a new capital investment. So here Keynes has dealt this theory with fluctuations in income, employment and money. So here this theory is mainly dealing with the marginal efficiency of capital. We can give an example of buying a machinery. What is the return after working of that particular machinery in coming years? So this way Keynes has dealt about this theory. Thus Keynes says that the basic cause of trade cycle, it lies in the fluctuations of volume of investment, and the volume of investment, it is dependent on marginal efficiency of capital. Marginal efficiency of capital is nothing but what is the return which a machinery or a particular employment is getting. It is called as marginal efficiency of capital. Keynes has also mentioned about the rate of interest, how it is relatively stable in short period. Then he has also explained about marginal efficiency of capital. It is dependent on psychology of businessman. Then again we may say that this rise in marginal efficiency of capital increases investment. It leads to more employment opportunities, output and income, which results in period of prosperity. Then lastly, if marginal efficiency of capital is declining, the investment, it is resulting to contraction of output, and this results in decrease in income, decrease in employment, which results in depression. In the following chart, we may say that the rate of interest has been subdivided into marginal efficiency of capital and rate of interest. Marginal efficiency of capital is nothing but the expected return. So here, what is the prospective yield and what is the supply price of output goods. Then again, what is the prospective yields? We may say that entrepreneur's expectation, that is the businessman's expectation. This theory is a pure monetary phenomena theory. This theory is given by English economist R.G. Hawtrey. According to him, trade cycle is purely monetary phenomena theory. That is, trade cycles are due to monetary factors. It means they are due to expansion and contraction of money supply in the economy. And here he has said about the changes in volume which is due to the bank credit, which leads to change in demand. Here an increase in money supply, it results in expansion of business, and decrease in money supply results in contraction of business. Thus Hawtrey opines the non-monetary factors like strikes, floods, earthquakes, droughts, wars, etc., and it as the best cause for partial depression but not general depression. So according to this theory, whenever there is huge money supply in an economy, there will be huge credit expansion, means the loan facilities will be given more by the banks with least rate of interest. When there is least rate of interest, the investment will be more, and when there is more investment, there will be more spending on consumer goods or foreign goods. This leads to higher imports, and when there is higher imports, the balance of payment will be deficit and money supply reduces. This theory works according to the monetary, that is money supply theory. When credit becomes cheap, they borrow from banks in order to increase the stock or inventors. Then again, what they'll do, they will place larger orders, and with higher production, they in turn employ more factors of production to meet increasing demand, and money incomes of the owners of the factors of production increases. Therefore, increasing expenditure on goods, merchants find the stock being exhausted. So again, we may say that in this theory, the growth phase, here the expanded phase of the trade cycle, it starts when banks increase credit facilities, and they are provided by reducing the lending rate of interest and by purchasing securities, and these encourages borrowings on the part of merchants and producers. When credit becomes cheap, they borrow from banks in order to increase the stock or inventors. Then again, what they'll do, they will place larger orders, and with higher production, they in turn employ more factors of production to meet increasing demand, and money incomes of the owners of the factors of production increases. Therefore, increasing expenditure on goods, merchants find the stock being exhausted. Coming back to next phase is boom phase. This phase places more orders in with producers, and this leads to further increase in productive activity in income, outlay, demand, and a further depletion in stocks of merchants. According to Hawtrey, increased activity means increased demand, and increased demand means increased activity. That is, vicious circle is set up, and there is expansion of the productive activity. So the process of expansion continues. Producers quote higher on higher prices, and higher prices influences traders to borrow more in order to hold still larger stocks goods and to earn more profit. This optimism encourages borrowings, and borrowings encourages sales, and sales releases to expenditure. The next phase is recession phase. So according to Hawtrey, prosperity cannot continue. Then again, it comes down to an end when banks stop giving credit facilities, that is loan facilities. So banks reduces to lend the money because their cash funds are they are in shortages, and in this the money circulates observed in the form of cash holdings by consumers. Next is, again we may say that next phase is the factors in the export of gold of other countries when imports exceed export as a result of prices in the domestic goods. So these factors form banks of rate of interest and they reduce to lend. Thus they ask the business community to repay the loans. Next we will come back to the next theory. Next we will come back to the next phase, it is slump phase. So in this it leads to the reduction in demand for factors of production, and thus falling demand, prices and incomes are the signals of depression, and this will be unable to repay the bank loans for some firms, and it will be just a liquidation for forcing banks to contract credit facilities. Thus as a result money flows into the reserve banks and funds increases with banks. So no theory is free of limitations. So first limitation is trade cycle is not purely a monetary phenomena. Next is it is worldwide phenomena, means we may say that it is denoting to whole globe, wherein here in this theory it is not yet specified about this particular situation. Innovation theory of trade cycle is given by Joseph Schumpeter. He has been regarded as innovation as the cause of trade cycle, that is business cycles are due to innovative activities of entrepreneur. Whenever they find out new things they get profit that results in fluctuations. These are the main innovations taken up by the entrepreneurs. Such introduction of new product, innovations of new techniques of production, and introduction of new methods of organization, development of new sources of raw materials, and introduction of new machines, development of new market, etc. Thus, innovation leads to more production, ultimately increase in aggregate demand, further increase in income of businesses as shown in the following picture. According to Schumpeter, in the capitalistic economy will be normally stationary state. There will be no investment, but it is innovation which distributes the stationary state, which results in the fluctuation in investment and savings, and stationary economy becomes changing economy. Therefore, according to Schumpeter, it is innovation which causes trade cycle. Thus, no theory is free from limitations. We may say that in this theory also there are some of the limitations, as it had been assumed that there will be full employment level because of the new innovations which are taking place in an economy. This is one of the demerit, or this is one of the limitation. Next one is bank is not only the source of finance for every innovation in business. There may be other institution which will be providing some credit facilities to the particular industries. Next is again many times the profits are plowed back to finance. Next is innovation cannot be the sole cause of business cycle. Then we may say that too much of entrepreneurs who will be innovative, but he has neglected socio-economic factors like which will play an important role in an economy. Next is again innovation is only the trade cycle, but there are some other factors like changing climate, trade and habits of the people which bring about changes in demand, etc. Next criticism is role of government is neglected. The government of the country play an important role in the economic development of a country, which is neglected by Schumpeter. These were the drawbacks of innovation theory of trade cycle. Thank you.